In the darkness I stand, but the light's always there. In the darkness I stand, but the light is always there. In the darkness I stand, and we may always fall down, but we can always get back up. That the lesson we learned around and around. In the darkness I stand, but that doesn't mean that I'm gone. In the darkness I stand, I can meditate and plan my next move on. In the darkness I stand, and it's all good because it allows me to take a deep breath, close my eyes, and remind myself of how blessed I truly am. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. Yes, it's me, April Love, here in Boston, wishing you a blessed time. Truly hope you're finding reasons to smile, laugh, enjoy life, appreciate everything and everyone around you. Just give me a split second. All right, there we go. Just sending it to a friend. So, make sure everything where it needs to be. I know it may be a few minutes before anyone comes in, but that's all right. For anyone that sees this after the fact, if it's your first time being on this channel, on my live, on any of my videos, first, I appreciate you being here. It means the world to me, and I am going to give you that call to action to hit that like button, that subscribe button, that notification bell. Leave me a positive comment down below. You know, I started the stream with that little poem because I've been going through some stuff the last couple of weeks. Physical energy, emotional energy has been really down and been very unmotivated. But I'm slowly trying to pick myself back up. At the end of this video, once this live stream is up, I'll be posting my week 13 health and fitness video. It's documenting my fitness and health journey to try to get back on track with my health and just my overall life. But those particular videos are focused on the health and fitness, like diet and working out, and I throw a few other things in there. But and I know I'm saying I'm a lot. Excuse me, because I'm trying to get the thought it's going. But if you want to support and you want to follow me in any way, in my description, I have everything from a PayPal to you can put a donation. Donations will help me to get better equipment. You know, and this helps me in home. I do not just sell a love. This is my I am shirt. And if you can see, big letters, it says I am. And then around it, it says I am worthy. I am unique. I am beautiful. I am me. You know, you get the point. I am life. And I have other designs that have the same concept that I am. And I also have shirts that have, you know, the second person, you are. And that's part of a collection called I Am You Are collection. But I also have a ton of other designs. Find something that speaks to you. What else? All my Facebook pages. So All those links are down below, so you can support, even if it's just to share out my content. And um, speaking of my content, you should, you should, if you want content, if you are looking for positive content, uplifting content, transparent content, um, all my videos do that. Whether it's an art project, whether it's health and fitness, whether I'm doing a full-on motivational video, um, I got a little bit of everything. So make sure you go check that out. Take the hat off because it's a little warm right now. It's a little warm in this office right now. Uh, so yeah, my hair is funky, but it's all good. I know that was a long description about everything, and if you are this far into it, appreciate you being here. And like I said, those of you who watch me on a regular, you know who you are. Divine Tiffany, Foodie, Keith Humphrey, JV, Nicole, Makeup by Nicole, Manji, James Cox, Remy Moore. There's so many to mention. And all the people I'm mentioning, we're all part of a community called hashtag I'm a Creator. I'll try to remember to put the link in the description so you can find out more about that, especially if you're a content creator. It doesn't necessarily have to be YouTube content, but this community is, filled with a lot of positive, loving, caring people that, genuinely, not only are they trying to grow their own platforms, their own channels, but we are trying our best to help each other, whether we're watching each other's live streams, watching each other's videos, sharing out those videos. It's not a sub for sub type thing. It might seem like it, but the thing is we never ask for support back. We never say, hey, we never go into somebody else's chat or video and go, hey, I just sub to you, want to sub to me? We never do that. We literally just we go watch their videos, and especially if it's something that we're interested in, we'll hit the subscribe button, we'll hit the notification bell, we'll leave a comment in the comment section letting them know, hey, we watched your video, and we're sharing it out to show you, some love. And that's basically that's what it is. We don't say, hey, I just friended you, I just gave you a high five, I just, whatever, come check me out. We don't do that because, if you just let somebody know, hey, I came to check you out, I gave you that, like, there's a good chance that they'll come to you naturally without you having to, beg them or tell them to come to you. So anyway, let's get off that because I don't want to ramble about that. It's not anything negative, but it's not what I want to talk about. So, again, as you know, the last couple weeks, my energy's been low. I've had some things that affected me emotionally. You can watch past videos to know about that. And this week, I've slowly, very, very slowly, tried to get myself to move even a tiny bit. Because what's been happening is, and even before any negative stuff happened, or anything negative was happening, I was creating a habit that's not good. Not good in all aspects of my life. All right, because as you can tell, or as you know, those that watch, I work the overnight shift, so When I get home, the first thing I usually do is go straight, I feed my cats and I go straight to bed. And usually I'm able to get up by noontime, 1 o'clock, and stay awake. I might take a nap somewhere in between that time, between the time I get up and have to go to work. But in between that time, I also have to do daily errands and all, life stuff. Um, but the last couple weeks, I've literally been waking up. I either stay in bed and play with my phone for hours on end, not doing anything actually productive. You know, Productive would be making a post, making a video, putting up actual valuable content or content to help promote ALF Productions or anything to that matter. And I'm not even like checking out too much of anybody else's content. Um, I am and I'm not. I am and I'm not. I'm what I've been like just aimlessly watching random videos, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I've been getting caught up in the scroll. You know what I'm saying? What's up? Hit that like button. Thank you for coming in. Um, but either I spend way too much time before getting out of bed, or when I do get out of bed, I might go grab something to eat. I'm up for maybe half an hour, and I go right back to sleep. What's up, foodie? And then I'm sleeping for another 2 hours. And by the time I'm actually awake to stay awake, it's like 6, 7 o'clock. So there's nothing else I can do but either make dinner or wait to go to work. And then even then, it's like I'm out of it. I don't want to do anything. I'm distracting myself with nothing, and I might even go back to sleep. So it hasn't. The last couple of weeks, physically, energy, and this, I guess mentally too. Even before anything went, any of the negative things that came out, um, I've just been all over the place. But slowly but surely, I'm trying to get myself back up. And that's why even now my energy seems a little bit higher, is because I'm trying to get myself back into that focus, back into the mindset of getting things accomplished, being on top of my grind, being on top of what I want to accomplish. And foodie, I'm things are going all right. I've been struggling a little bit all week. You might have figured that out with the lack of live streams and stuff, but I really want to get back on top of things. So, and if you watch the beginning of this later on, you'll hear the whole ramble. But, so, and some of what I'm talking about now is gonna be in the next health and fitness video, because, you know, you'll hear and see everything that I say. But I really want to get back on that positive. I really want to get back on a schedule and focused. Like I'm already trying to plan out what I want to do with my streams, what do I want to do with my videos. Trying to figure out, what days or how many times a week or how many hours a week should I be working on aloveproductions.com. And just really trying to, figure out how I can juggle everything. Because, like, even the live streams, like, I may start cutting back on how many times a week I do the live streams at work. No, I don't want to take time off. I feel like I feel like in a way, even though I've been doing live streams, I feel like I have been taking time off in the sense that I haven't made consistent videos. You know, but and that's one of the reasons why I want to cut back on the live streams a little bit in the sense that, like, instead of doing them every single night, which can be very draining, if I say like if I if I say specifically I want to do, I might do random ones, but if I dedicate like particular nights to the nights that I do specifically like live streams, and if I'm gonna do them at home, I could do a live stream for as long as I want to do a live stream. At work, I feel like I need to start putting a time limit on how long I do the live streams, and because I want to accomplish other things as well, like if like working on aloveproductions.com, uh, you know, instead of doing a live stream at work every single night, I want to dedicate at least one work day a week to specifically focusing on that. You know, so instead of spending 2 hours doing the live stream, I spend 2 hours doing work on aloveproductions.com. Um, and if I'm able to, maybe I live stream while I'm working on that. The only issue is because I don't have Wi-Fi at work. I would have if when it comes to Alove Productions, my website, I'd rather work on that on my computer and not on my phone because it's just a bigger screen. I feel like I could see things better. I could spread things out a little bit better versus the phone. I'm sitting here going, what am I doing? And to be honest, I get too distracted when it's specifically my phone. When it's on my phone, I get distracted by notifications and I get bored and I want to go check out this instead or whatever. I might, but I want to try to really start, piecing things together and like, if this is really going to be my career or whatever, I need to treat it that way. So even if I have to make blocks of time for, logistical stuff, or whatever, you know, like I gotta try to figure out how to juggle wanting to work out, wanting to cook and eat clean, run regular weekly errands like food shopping and when my mother wants to go out or whatever. Because especially working the overnight, I go to sleep when I get home. Usually I could go right to sleep, but the last couple of weeks I've been fairly awake when I get home. So I end up playing with my phone for an hour, which takes away from my sleep. So it's like, the thing is I have no reason to play with my phone when I get home. Unless I'm posting something specific to ALF Productions, whether it's a video or or something on social media. When I spend all night on my phone, one way or another, whether I'm listening to a motivational video, watching somebody else's stream, doing my own stream, watching other people's content. So I already spend 8 hours a night throughout the internet, you know? So when I get home, I really don't need, like, I have to continue to remind myself, you don't need to do this right now. You know, unless it pertains to aloveproductions, I really shouldn't be messing with the phones once I get home. You know, especially if I'm trying to go to sleep. If I'm not trying to go to sleep, that's one thing. You know, and you know, but like I really want to get refocused. Like I have to like, I might actually just write out a schedule, even if I don't follow it to a T. Like I want to have something like I can physically look at and go, okay, so you know, this is what my week should look like. This is what, you know, this is the time frame that I would like to get things accomplished. You know, and luckily, you know, the blessing of having the elliptical, the exercise machine that my cousin gave me, um, like even to do that, like I got on it twice this week for 5 minutes each, which is fine because I'm trying to acclimate myself to that machine. Um, I even tried to go on tonight, and I lasted less than 3 minutes because my mentally I just wasn't there to do it. Like I tried, and I was trying to push myself, and I kept stopping. I'm like, screw it, I'm not doing it. And I got off, you know. But instead of beating myself up about that, I was like, you know what, it's okay, but we gotta get focused. You know, I've been sleeping too much, not eating right. Well, this past week or so, I've been eating fairly okay in the sense that like I haven't tried to take out that often, like as much, you know, consistently. I might go get I'll go get a snack or something, which that's another thing I need to work on. You know, and come May, the beginning of May, I think I looked online yesterday. For those that know, I am Muslim. I converted in 2010. Um, and every year, if you don't know about Islam, you know, Muslims every year do 30, 30 days of fasting during Ramadan. And it's, you know, basically no food, no water, no nothing to drink, nothing to eat from just before. It's not even sunrise. It's just before sunrise. It's when the first prayer. Because if you don't know, Muslims pray 5 times a day. The first one happens just before like half an hour before sunrise. The next one is around noontime, give or take. The second one is anywhere from between, depending on what you know what time of year it is, because it changes with, you know, it changes. Technically, I think it changes with the moon, but it really changes with the sunrise and the sunset. So throughout the year, you know, that changes daily. Whether we see, like we might not notice that it changed until a month later. You know, like it's a half an hour. It gets darker a half an hour early now, and then an hour, you know, a month later, you're like, now it's 45 minutes earlier or whatever. You know, so I think it's supposed to go with the moon, but I think it really goes with the sunrise. You know, with the rise and set of the sun. So like again, the first prayer of the day, and you know, once the first prayer of the day hits, that's when you're supposed to stop eating or drinking. You know, so or you know you're not supposed to from the first prayer of the day to the second to last prayer of the day. The second to last prayer is considered the sunset prayer, and that actually happens again maybe a half an hour before the sun actually completely sets, and then there's one more prayer after that. But during Ramadan, I'm not making fun of it, but Ramadan is like prayer fest for Muslims. All right, it's like literally you do your five daily prayers. On top of that, you're fasting from again basically from sunrise to sundown. So but from the first prayer of the day to the second to last prayer of the day, and then when the last prayer of the night hits, for a couple of hours, for as long as you want to do it, but for at least 2 hours a night, Muslims around the world go to the mosque, and if they can't go to the mosque, if they can do it at home, or if they can step away and do it, they pray for most of the night. You know, especially the last 10 days of Ramadan. The last 10 days of Ramadan are um, considered a little bit more significant in the sense that it's believed that one of those days are going to be just like I believe that, just the same as Christianity or Judaism, there's a belief of when God will come back to, not come back to the earth, but reveal himself, or, the judgment day, and during Ramadan, they believe the last 10 days, sometime in the last 10 days of Ramadan is when, you know, the day of judgment will be, or the day, they call it the day of power. And there's one specific night, I believe it's like the 27th day or something, where they literally spend all night in the mosque praying. But during those last 10 days, you have the option of staying at the mosque or praying for as long as possible throughout the night. And the belief is, one, if you can fast throughout the whole month of Ramadan, that you will be blessed. Wait, is it Ramadan? Yeah, if you can make it through the month of Ramadan, doing the fasting and all the prayers, that you will be blessed and protected until the following Ramadan. After Ramadan, like a day after, there's an optional, I think it's 6 days, that's believed that if you pray, if you continue the fast for 6 more days, that, again, I forget if it's that or the other. Again, I'm a convert, so like I have a lot to learn, and I honestly I don't remember everything exact. Um, but I think it's those 6 days. Or there's another time, like 2 months later, where there's another optional 10-day fast, and I forget if it's the 6 days or the 10 days, that if you fast for those days, that that God, your prayers will be answered, or you'll be more so blessed for like 100 years or 80 years or something like that. So I forget exactly what, but I know it sounds like a lot, but every religion has its, you know, I mean, Catholic. I don't know if it's all through, but I know Catholicism, they have Lent, where for 40 nights and 40 days, you choose, it's not a full-on fast, I don't think, but, you know, you make a vow to sustain from something. Like you don't smoke for 40 days, or you stop eating, right? You get to choose what it is that you want to sustain, stop doing for the 40 days and 40 nights. And and even in Judaism, I believe I think during Yom Kippur, I think they fast for a couple of days. So every religion, I think, has some form of fasting or some form of, self-restraint, a practice of self-restraint and discipline. You know, and even in Buddhism, where they don't necessarily believe in God, they just believe in your higher spirit, and believe in, the practices of Buddha. But when you break it down, when you get to the nitty gritty of, all organized religions, like if you get down to the purity of them, including ones like Buddhism, I believe, like the message is the same. You know, Prayer is a form of meditation. Buddhism believes in meditating and centering yourself and connecting with your higher self, or higher power. All, Christianity, Islam, and Muslim, and Judaism all believe in God, the same God. You might have different names, but it's the same God. We all have the same moral compasses of showing love and respect to one another, to treat our family members kindly, our neighbors kindly, to show love, to keep yourself pure and clean, to wait till marriage for relationship, for relationships. And all three of those, turn to prayer to connect with God, which in turn is the higher power, your higher power, or the connect, or when you pray, you connect to your spirit that connects to God. And we get, whether people realize it or not, from what I've learned, specifically between Catholicism and Islam, is all the biblical stories that we know, like Abraham, Moses, Noah, all those stories are the same. The only story that changes, the only real story that changes between the religions, is the story of Jesus. It's definitely a good challenge. Even if you're not Muslim, all right? Even if you're not Muslim, it, you know, to fast and meditate, fast, and you can even do it by your own faith, whatever your faith is. So if you wanted to get into meditation, if you wanted to start praying more on a regular basis, you could do the fasting for a health and spiritual, physical challenge. and you add in the prayer and the meditation as a, part of that. Then, because the thing is with the misconception about fasting is, oh, they're gonna starve themselves for 30 days. No, because at the end, because when it hits sunset, you're allowed to eat, and you can eat as little as much as you want between, you know. Granted, you might be sleeping, but again, with Muslims, there's a good chance that they're up, and there is a time, I think a half an hour to an hour before the first prayer, that they say if you can get up for this, you'll eat your meal before sunset, and that should sustain. And if you eat properly, that should sustain you. And when you stop and think about it, especially these days where fasting, like juice fasting, and all these like health fasts that are out there, right? Like intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is where you don't. I think you can drink, like you can drink water or tea or coffee, but you don't eat any solid foods for anywhere from 8 to 16 hours a day. You don't. I believe with intermittent fasting, you pick a particular time of day to eat, and you eat all your calories and all your meals or whatever you're going to eat during that time period, and then you go the rest of your day and night without eating. But again, I think you can drink, so that's the only real difference. you know and whoever gave me that like, thank you, I appreciate it. So so at the end, especially now where the intermittent fasting is becoming a popular fad diet, type of thing. People say, oh, it's not healthy to fast, it's not whatever. There are health benefits and here's the thing, if you are pregnant, this is particularly to females. For females, if they're pregnant, if they're on their cycle, they do not have it's up for debate whether it's permitted or not permitted, or an option for them not to pray, not to fast during that time. So for a woman that's pregnant, or if it's that time of the month, it's it's again, it's a debate, but it's encouraged not to fast, for health reasons. Because obviously, if you're pregnant, you need the nutrients. You need to stay healthy during the pregnancy. And for a lot of women, when it's that time of the month, you're in a lot of pain. You might already have, it might cause energy issues and physical limitations. So again, for women specifically, you know, and I've heard people say you're not supposed to pray or fast during that time, and I've heard people say if the woman feels strong enough to do it, it's allowed. You know, but again, that's part of the debate among the scholars and among Muslims in general. Because I could ask 5 Muslims the same question and get 5 different answers, you know? Um, the other thing is, if you are someone that has health issues, you are excused um, from fasting. So, and if you're elderly, I believe. Children, the elderly, the sick, and women that are either pregnant or, you know, on their cycle, they're excused from from participating in Ramadan, and they can make it. They can one make it up at a later time, or they can donate food or give to charity. As a token of faith, or to an option to doing the normal routine for Ramadan and stuff. So little by little, I'm gonna have to start. What I like to do is when I know Ramadan's getting closer, the month before, I slowly start preparing myself physically and mentally um, for fasting. So I'll start, I'll slowly but surely start going a couple of hours, an hour or so. Like I'll do it like on the weekends or whatever, where I'll go a couple hours without food or water, just to start getting myself prepared in that way. Because luckily, because I do work the overnight, and I don't like doing this. I hate bringing food with me to work. I don't like bringing prepped food to work with me if I don't have to. You know, I might grab a snack here and there, but I'm not someone that really wants to eat at night. I try to eat before I leave for work and stuff, but luckily because I do work the overnight, I'm already awake, so I can eat, you know, regularly throughout the night, and that way when it's time to fast, you know, it should tie me over for, until I need to, until I'm able to eat again, eat or drink again. Last couple years have been tough though because, um, one because Ramadan was happening like right in the middle of the summer, and I think last year and the year before I had to stop because I was physically not feeling well towards the end. Yeah, but I really need to get focused and really get on top of things. And I gotta figure out how to start making some more money. I miscalculated my budget for this week, so I was $100 shorter than I was expecting to be, and that kind of, I'm trying not to let it stress me out because I want money to show up in my to show up. And if I sit here and dwell on what I don't have, or and whatever, then I'm gonna stop that flow from coming to me. But I wanted this. People that know, those that know the situation with my husband being in Morocco and us having the issues that we've had, especially when it comes to money and whatnot. I because there's no work in Morocco, and I know it's not just him. I know a couple other people in Morocco that are having, can't find work either. There's a friend on Facebook that I talk to on a regular basis, and even he's like, I won't even ask about Morocco, and he'll just bring it up. He's like, things are so hard right here right now. That he's been out of work. So when I can, I try to send my husband a few dollars, and I was hoping to be able to send them something this week, and I can't even send them $50. Like everything is tied up in something else and stuff. But again, I don't want to do, like, I panicked a little bit yesterday. I felt like crap yesterday because I'm trying to pull myself back up again, and I'm trying to get refocused. I'm trying not to focus on the fact that I was down a few dollars, and to say, okay, I just have to, suck it up. I have to, it is what it is. But, you know, you can get back into that positive mindset that money is always finding its way to me. I'm always able to take care of what I need to take care of in one way or another. But like, I want to, like, I'd even drive for Uber Eats or something like that, but my car doesn't qualify. I need to figure out a way to make some extra cash though. But we're gonna get, well, I'm getting back, I gotta get back on track. I'm kind of getting in my head, but I'm not getting into it in a negative way. I'm just kind of like, God willing. I know everything will be alright. I know it's gonna be alright. No, I know. Like right now, I'm not necessarily like in my. I'm kind of like teetering back and forth. I'm not like 100% in my head in a negative way where I'm worried. It's just more of like in my head in the sense of we gotta make something happen type of thing, you know? It's a mixture between worry and the push, or like the motivation. Because you could, saying something like, gonna make something happen could be on both sides of the coin. It could be we need something to happen in a worried kind of way, and it could be we need something to happen in a motivational type of way. And I'm kind of teetering between the two. It's like on one side, it's like we're gonna do it. We're gonna make shit. We're gonna make it happen. It's gonna happen now. It's gonna. And then there's the other part of me like I gotta make something happen. You know what's crazy, right? Is and this is actually one of the things that kind of gave me a little bit of a spark last night, even though I didn't stream. Is um so anyone that watches this later, and Foodie, you might know who he is. You know Casey Neistat. being in New York, you should know who Casey Neistat is. All right, so he put out a video yesterday with another YouTuber, Mr. Beast. Wait, was it yesterday? Yeah. Put a video out yesterday with Mr. Beast. Now, this shows you how much, like, not only do I not get to everybody else's content as much as I should, not that I should, but, like, because I want to pay it forward, I don't pay attention to a lot of the bigger YouTubers. I don't watch PewDiePie. I didn't even know who PewDiePie was until I heard some of the YouTubers that I watch mention him. I heard that the T series, the two that were practically, I guess they're still going, whatever that is. I don't care really. But even Mr. Beast, I saw the video last night, and that was only the second time that I heard that person's name. All right, I know nothing about him. The only thing I heard prior to the video yesterday was both Alex Wasabi and Roman Atwood mentioned in their last video, a couple of their last videos, about going to do a battle royale competition, thing, shooting at each other in California, and that Mr. Beast was hosting it. And I'm like, I have no idea who that is. And I didn't bother to look either. Because I'm not, partly I don't necessarily care. And two, I'm trying not to get too caught up in watching too much other content in the sense, because that takes away from what I need to do for me. Like, I want to watch, I take the time to watch other people's stuff, but, like, I don't know if you came in at the time that I was talking about spending too much time just scrolling. I got to get away from, the just scrolling or aimlessly watching content. I'm doing all right, JV. How are you? I'm slowly trying to pull myself out of the funk that I've been in the last couple weeks, so trying to remotivate myself. And JV, while you're in here, my friend, I think I'm gonna try to work on the Ellen Love Lift track myself again, but I'm thinking to see if you want to help me create the one after that. And right now I'm tossed up between the two that I want to do it on. Right now I'm thinking it's either going to be Adam Sella or Slimification. Because I like the beats that you're coming up with. It's just not what I want for this project. And instead of I don't want you to get to the point where you're frustrated or feeling discouraged. So, once I decide who I think it's gonna be, I'm kind of leaning towards Slimification. Well, I already had like a handful, right now it's all people that I already watch. So that's basically how I'm going about it. It's people that I already watch and just who I feel like, as I'm thinking that I want to start a new one, I'm just going with what I feel. So like originally when I started with FouseyTube, with Fousey, the very first one, I started with that one because there was a lot going on, and he was at the time he was trying to promote love and positivity, and and putting more love out there and whatever. And that's where the idea came from. Even though he had positive intentions, a lot of negativity happened last year around Fuzi, but you know, the intent that he had is what sparked the idea of the Love Lift track. So I started with him, and I was I was gonna do it monthly like I'm doing now, but I waited 4 months before. I think like 3 or 4 months before I did the next one because that one came out in September. The second one didn't come out until December. So yeah, 4 months. But I've been consistently putting one out at least once a month since then. Yeah, so December, January, February, and March. So yeah, I put four out so far in the last 4 months. Um, and originally I was just doing creators, and I was like, you know what? I might throw in a couple other people. You know, people that like I like their energy, they're motivating, they're inspiring. So that's why like I'm throwing Ellen DeGeneres in there. She's not a content creator, but she's someone that exemplifies, you know, that love and positivity, you know, and someone that like, you know, when I see what she does, you know, touches me, and you know, and because I'm trying to celebrate people, that's why, you know, I'm like, I want to, you know, let me celebrate her. Well, see, here's my plan with this Love Lift track. All right, this particular one, I'm purposely gonna be posting everywhere, including EllenTube, because I think you're a lot. I think you're able to upload to EllenTube. So I'm not just gonna like I'm gonna share it for my YouTube channel, obviously, but I'm posting that. I'm posting once I get the everything together, and if the video is where I want it to be. What's up, Connor Smith? How are you? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up. Yeah, and I still gotta play around with it. I still gotta play around with it though. Like I think I have plenty of lyric, and I love the lyrics. It's just a matter of how I want to format it. You know, you know, it has to be. It's a matter of like, yeah, the song structure. Cause I sent you the lyrics, so you know what the full song is lyrically. But you know, like I was telling you the other night, like, and you said you got the lyrics. I don't know. Everybody else has the lyrics, and I wish I could post them in here. Um, but even if JV were to post it, he wouldn't be able to post it all at once because you can only post so many characters at once. So don't try it, JV. Don't do it. But you know, so obviously I'm starting with at least one chorus in the beginning. I was playing with the idea of repeating the chorus in the beginning, but starting with one chorus in the beginning, and then there's technically two verses there, and I'm debating whether I want to keep that the way it is, or do I separate it and put a chorus in between that two set of verses. If anybody that's watching that's confused, right? I'm not gonna write out the lyrics, but I'm gonna like draw out a diagram. Right? So I have the way I have this song set up right now, because usually songs go chorus, verse, maybe another chorus, then a breakdown, then a chorus, and then, some variation of that. Right now, the way this looks is I got a chorus, I got essential, practically two separate verses, then I put two choruses, two more sets of verses, and something that would be like a breakdown or an outro to the song. Something and this is all lyrically. So just to give you a visual. So this would be the chorus, these would be the verses, that would be the little breakdown towards, at the end of the song as it fades out or whatever I want it to do, right? But when I'm like, I don't, so I have plenty of verses, and I'm debating whether do I want to keep these two where they are? Do I want to keep this where it is? Do I want to put one of these in between here? Or do I leave this like this, put one of these between this, and make one of these the breakdown, and then this, do I still keep it towards the end? Do I take some of that and have it be like background vocals throughout the song, and then have it as the end, you know so that's the dilemma I'm having. How do I want to structure the song? It's one of the dilemmas I'm having. Lyrically, that's what I'm having the issue with, is like, how do I want to structure it out? Now, JV, I know you say you're not good with the lyrical side of things, but I know you've read through it. How would you, how do you think if you were gonna give a guess or off? Well, the way I normally do that is like, I won't do it musically. I just do the I'll just go through the lyrics, and usually I can figure this out in between. And originally I was doing, chorus, verse. And then I was like, you know what? I think they kind of work, as groups. And then I could put a breakdown. And then I realized, I have plenty of lyric. I don't, or plenty verse. I don't need any more verse. It's just a matter of how do I want to place everything. Because once I can figure out how I want to place everything, then I can worry about the instrumental, how the instrumental is going to break down. And I don't have my laptop with me, so I couldn't go through it even if I wanted to. But that's something I gotta find some time for this weekend. And see, and this is one of the reasons why, like, I don't know if you heard any of it, JV, but I was talking, Foodie was the only one in here, and I was talking about how I want to try to restructure, not restructure, I think she will. I think she will. If I can make this come out decent. And that's one of the other reasons why, I almost want to reach out to Remy more, because I think he can give me the depth that I'm looking for. But at the same time, I kind of want to see if I can really pull this off myself. It's kind of how I've been feeling about the other ones that I've done, you know. But you know, and I should have been working on it this whole time, but because I want it out at least by the 15th, which gives me like just over 15 days, so 20 days. If I have to push it back, like I want it out for the month of April, and I don't want to put another one out for at least 30 days after that one's come out. So, but thank you, appreciate it. Sorry. I'm playing with drawing over the structure thing that I made. um, but no, but what I was saying when it was just Foodie is that what I really need to work on moving forward and trying to remotivate myself and get more focused is I really need to put out like a schedule for myself, even if I don't follow it to a T. Like I have to stop breaking stuff up. Like I have like the live streams. Like I wanna break down the live streams to 3 to 4 days a week. That like I'll definitely do my best to stream on these nights. I may do random ones here and there, but I need to break up the live streams so I can make time to work on projects like this where I can just focus on that and not try to live stream it and do it. Especially if I'm trying to work on the music here. It's one thing that I'm working on the music at home where I can share my laptop screen. But when I'm here and I only have the I only have internet connection through my phone, um, like I want to be focused, Yeah, yeah, I know. I've thought about it. I do have a kit at home. Again, really, it's just a matter of it's sounding clean, you know. and getting it in a good time. Make sure the timing is right. That might be that might be something I can work on. So yeah, so back to like the scheduling and whatever. So again, like the live streams, I may start doing them not necessarily less, but like breaking it up where like okay, I'll keep Saturday nights as like most likely my at home art night, or my home live stream, especially since Tiffany. Not that I have to worry about anybody else's scheduling, but Tiffany wants. We all know Tiffany wants to do her photo readings on Friday nights, so I figure let her do that, and if she happens to not do her stream and she's up to it, if I'm up to it, I'll stream Friday nights. But like I want to keep the artsy at home live stream on Saturday nights, and then as far as at work, I'm thinking either a Sunday. I don't know if I want to do 4 nights, 4 out of the 5 nights that I work, or if I just want to do 3 nights. And what nights would I do? Would it be Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday? Do Sunday, please. So I could do Sunday night, Sunday, Monday, and either when you do Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Wednesdays. And if I'm up to it on any other night, if I'm not working on A-Level, because like again, because I also want to have cutout time where I'm just working on aloveproductions. I want cutout time where I can focus on like a music project. Um, and I need to make time because I want to get back into making regular videos. You know, so and with the regular videos, I know last time I asked whoever was in the chat in the stream with me, you know, the videos, it depends on how I go about it. Like, I know when I asked before, people said they want to see me do the motivational videos again. Y'all, some of you asked about, said I should do the cooking videos again, the poetry videos, and I'm already doing the fitness journey as a weekly video. In the other thing is I'm trying to figure out how do I want to go about filming. When it comes to the fitness one, in like a daily vlog, it's easier for me to do it unless I have a specific idea for a daily vlog. Like maybe I'm trying to do a skit, I'll use my like a regular camera, but like use my Canon. But for the fitness videos, and for like a regular vlog and maybe some of the poetry videos, I'll probably primarily use my cell phone just because it's easier and I don't. And the other thing is, like even for a daily vlog, my my Canon, the good thing about the Canon is it fits in my pocket. All right, I don't have to worry about a bag or whatever. The only reason why I do have to worry about a bag is because the LCD screen, it's a flip screen, and you can adjust it, but the screw underneath the screen continually becomes loose, and if I don't tighten it before it I lose the screw, then the screen dangles, and I can't use the phone without possibly messing up losing the link, and that's an expensive camera. You know, I did lose the screws at one point, and I had to go find like an old broken cell phone and take the screws off of the back of that. Those phones that you still, so so like, yeah, and for $600, the screws shouldn't be coming out. But apparently that's not. Apparently that's a common issue with that phone, not that phone, with that camera. It's a very popular camera among content creators because it's a. That's what I have. That's the Canon I have, is the G7 Mark II. It's very versatile, right? That camera is definitely very versatile. It does really good in low light. I have trouble sometimes with the settings. I think because I play around with it, the settings a little too much, and what not too much, but like I try different things and I forget what I did and whatever. But the major issue that I have with that camera that I have with that camera is the screen getting loose. Yeah, you need a good video card. At the very, you need something that has a decent video card. You do most of your videos through your phone, Foodie? Apple sucks. What editing app do you use? iMovie? Don't get too discouraged because even a lot of the bigger YouTubers, like even that guy that I started talking about, Mr. Beast, even he said he started his videos, not even on a iPhone. It was like, crappy little when the cell phone cameras were just, being developed. Look, when I win the lottery, I'll hook you up. I'll get you the Mark II and a DSLR and a laptop. Believe me. I know I sound a little uncomfortable when I say it, right? But I truly do believe that I will win the lottery one day. You know, I've believed it, most of my life. that that I will win like a major jackpot. Like I feel like it's gonna happen at some point. Hopefully not when I'm 80. I don't play often. Like I played like the Powerball and Mega Millions somewhat on a regular basis. But like, there's days where I don't go out and I don't get the ticket, or I forget to get the ticket, or whatever. What I'm trying to do more often. What's up, Nicole? Thank you for coming in. What I've been trying to do lately is, instead of just blindly buying the ticket or buying it when I'm stressed and worried about money, I try to wait until my gut tells me you should go get a ticket, and it has to be my gut and not my my worry. Because I believe that's one of the biggest. That's gonna be, you know, the less I worry about the idea of winning, you know, the more I could get myself to be a little less worried about money, and not buying lottery tickets out of the sense of lack of money, or like, I need to win this, I need this money. Like, just if I can do it more from a place of instinct and gut, and like, I'm being drawn to play this game or buy this scratch ticket. And it's worked a little bit, in a sense, like, I haven't really been buying a lot of scratch tickets lately. And what I do is, like, because where I work, there's like 5 or 6 lottery scratch ticket machines that I walk by, when I do my walks around the building. And, you know, what I've been trying to do lately is, unless I'm drawn to the machine, like if something, and I don't always win when I do this, but like last week I did that twice. I walked past the machines, unless I got a gut feeling. So I hope you feel better. But I think last week I was drawn a couple times, and I did end up winning $30. So, between two different cards. But I do believe. Look, if I win, it really depends on the amount that gets won. But the more that I win, best believe the more people that I am gonna help. The more that I'm gonna try to bless others. Because I believe there's enough for everybody, and I know I truly don't need millions and millions of dollars for myself. This is my intention when I do get those large amounts of money coming into my life, right? My intention with the money that comes into my life is, obviously, first and foremost, take care of me and my family. Right? So, first and foremost, make sure my family is taken care of and set, and I got investments going that will continually have my money rotate, flowing or whatever. With everything else, any other money that I have, like that that I can invest or I can help others with. All right, Nicole, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Like, bet you know, not only will I invest it, to keep the money flowing, I'm not just gonna invest it in monetary things. I want to invest it in way like you guys heard in some of my in my live streams over the last couple months. Hello, Keith. How are you? Thank you for coming in. Um, I want to invest in people as well. I want to invest in helping others reach their goals and their dreams. You know, like the idea that I had for housing, like that will definitely be something that I will, try to create, bring a team together to start making that, to make that, um, to have that become a reality to help others, and anyone that I know or anyone I come across, like I want to be able to randomly help people, specific people as well, I want to help others be able to reach their goals and their dreams and that's what I found interesting about that beast Mr. Beast is that apparently, like, I've only watched one of his videos, but from watching the video that he did with the interview that Casey Neistat did with him, um, it was very interesting to hear, you know, what he does and what his intent is with the money that he makes. Like, that's something that I want to do. The things that he like randomly give a homeless person a couple $1,000s or help someone randomly get into a better living situation or randomly give money to someone that's trying to go to college or needs a car or whatever. Like, I want to get to that point. Like, I want to, and that's the stuff that Ellen DeGeneres does too. She has much bigger platform, and I don't necessarily want that platform. And I don't care if I get to the point that I have 10 million subscribers or 15 million subscribers, whatever, a billion subscribers. Like, I'm not trying to be, the next pop sensation. I'm just trying to get I'm just trying to get to the financial platform or get to the enough of a platform that I can make that I can make even a even bigger difference in the world. I don't know. Like I said, I've never watched him, but the little bit that I heard from him, hasn't he gotten himself in a little negative, got caught up in some drama and stuff, and talk smack about other people? That's one of the reasons why I haven't bothered to even watch one video of his. Right. And apparently him and whatever that T series is, they're like, you know, there's a frigate, there's a live stream somewhere that shows both T series and PewDiePie's Social Blade um, in showing their subscriber counts going up. So like they got them in competition with each other to see who hits 100 million subscribers first. And apparently, Mr. Beast, you know, obviously didn't have to, but apparently he was helping PewDiePie get more subscribers. He was putting up billboards around LA, help PewDiePie. And that's the same with me, okay? Like, you know, that's the same with me, right? I don't have, right now, technically, I'm a nobody, okay? I'm not putting myself down, so don't think I'm putting myself down. In greater, the greater scheme of things, you know, in the greater scheme of things, in the world of social media and pop culture and YouTube and so all of that, like you guys, we're just one of like billions of people, millions of people trying to do this thing. All right, right, all right, and the content creators, all the content, most of the content creators. There's a couple of content creators that I watch that only have just over 100,000 subscribers. A good handful of them have 10 million or more, but like Adam Sella, I think is only at like 2 or 3 million. Slimification, I think he's at 500,000. Um, who else? Um, who do I watch? But there's a couple people that I watch that don't have like the like millions and millions and millions of followers or subscribers. But me putting out a love lift track doesn't help them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if it eventually blows up, it will get people to their channel. But right now, thank you, JV. I appreciate that. I feel that. I can feel your energy on that. And maybe one day I will be. Maybe one day somebody will start doing that. You know, but right now, thank you. I appreciate that. Right now though, I'm just another creator trying to get the bigger creators' attention to see if they will shout me out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they don't they don't need my help. But regardless if they need my help or not, I'm doing the Love Live track one for a couple reasons. One, I'm gonna be honest, yeah, they see it, they shout it out, it's gonna bring traffic to my channel. The but the true intent behind the videos is because with all the drama in the world and a lot of all the drama on social media, the YouTubers that I watch all promote love and positivity. And Superwoman, Lily Singh, adamantly talks about, especially with women, about shouting out and celebrating other women and celebrating creators and celebrating, the accomplishments of others. And that's what the Love Lift tracks are supposed to be. The Love Lift tracks are supposed to go, look at this person, all right? They didn't always have it all, Or like the perfect example is Fuzi's, the very first one that I put out. Okay, throughout that song, I tell his story. I don't just hype him up. I'm not just saying he's the coolest person in the world. I'm not saying that he does no wrong in the song. You know, I talk. The very first verse of that video, that song, talks about his start onto YouTube. He started. He started. She does. She started. FuziTube started with doing Middle Eastern skits. And he was just out of high school and just out of just finishing college, and you know, tr- you know, making those types of videos. And he had a dream of being on the big screen. And eventually he got into, he was into Tyler Perry movies. Hey, somebody took away their like. There it is. And thank you to whoever gave me that like. But the first verse kind of talks about his pursuit to be an actor and wanting to be on the big screen and then finally making it. You know, the second verse talks about um, him, being open about his mental illness with bipolar and depression, and also talking about his ups and downs um, with his weight and his diet and his health, and you know it, that talks about that part of who he is. And then the breakdown in the last verse talk about where he was last year, and how he talks about he's talked about in the past when he's done fake things, or when he hasn't been 100% transparent. He's put himself out there, and sometimes he dug his own grave, so to speak, or he was responsible for a lot of the backlash that he ended up getting. I talk about that, and the very last verse of the song, I talk about how, even though I was like, how can you judge this man for doing what a lot of people won't do, which is be transparent to the point of he shows last year he had a very, very public mental breakdown. All right, and he severed a lot of ties, and you know he felt he got a whole lot of drama. And, some of it was self-imposed. He severed ties and he mended and severed ties within a matter of a couple of months. He combined, he reunited, or made peace with a couple people. And then because of his mental state at the time, and maybe there was other stuff that I don't know about, but or people don't know like the full backstory of everything, because we don't know everything. We only know what we see. For sure. And I can see where he can be a certain type of person. From watching him for so long, I can tell that he can be a little shady, and I can tell whatever. But I'm like, how can you judge this dude for doing what most can't? Is one, being transparent. Two, he's had people, over his YouTube career in the section saying, why don't you just, get it over with? Because he's talked about suicide a few times. And he's like, why don't you? He's had people tell him, why don't you get it over with? Why don't you, you know, you said you're gonna do it, so do it. Or like they express how much they hate the guy, and I'm like, in that last verse I bring up, I was like, he does what most can't. He's had people tell him, go ahead, do it, but he gets back up. In his own depression, through his own bipolar and his own mental instability, on top of people like encouraging that instability, feeding that instability, he might step away, but eventually he comes back and he's like, you know what? I'm going to try this again. I want to be stronger. I want to be this. I want to do this. And he gets up and he tries again. He might fall again in a couple of months. He might stop. Like, even the last couple of months, he's slowly but surely been coming back on one of his channels. And he'll record for like a week. And then I think the last video he did was maybe a week or two ago. But like he's been trying to get back up on his feet again. After taking like a good 6 months of not posting anything because of all that happened last summer. You know, and that's what that song portrays. It portrays where he started, where he was in the middle, where he was as far as last year was concerned, and what his showing that that even he admits that he's not perfect, and despite the negativity that's in his own head and the negativity that gets put in his direction, he gets back up again. And although he really wants to get his own success, I believe there's a part of him, there's a true intent to want to spread love and positivity and inspire people. Because one of the things he wants to do is be a motivational speaker, And a few of the last videos he put out, he would talk about how, he still wants to be a motivational speaker. And I'm like, and I put in a comment, I said, but Fuzi, you are a motivational speaker. Through your content, you are a motivational speaker. You might not be going on tour. You might not be, going to give lectures. Mm-hmm. You know, you might, you might not be doing, you might not be Tony Robbins and selling out, convention halls and whatever and giving motivational talks in that way. You might not be Gary Vee, in doing what he's doing, but through your content, through your transparency, through your ups and downs, you are a motivational speaker. You are you're a motivator through your content. And he's one of the people that inspired when I first decided to start making videos. He was one of the content creators that I originally started watching and saying that's what I want to do. That's what, I want to be transparent. I don't want to put up this actor, because I don't consider myself. I can play off some things. I could do a little skit here and there, but I don't consider myself an actor. You know. No matter how difficult life can get, giving up is not the best option. Getting back up and starting again is always the better decision. Yeah, for sure. I mean, granted, there's things that happen in life, and sometimes some people get get bombarded one negative thing after another, and it's enough for you want to just give up or let go, or like you just want all the crap to stop. I'll give you an example without getting into too much detail. You know, a family member. Um, well, she hasn't been in vlogs, and I don't think she'll watch this, especially this far in. All right, so my cousin that I was talking about last week, the situation that happened last weekend, right? This girl has been through hell and back throughout her life. Okay? I'm not going to get into all her stuff, but I'll bring up at least the last, like, say the last 6 months. All right? Or the last year. Like me, she has now her husband. He was fiance for 2 years, but they did get married the last visit she made to Egypt. He lives in Egypt, and ironically, I'm the one who introduced them. Um, that's an interesting story that I'll get into maybe after this. All right, but again, I'm not gonna get into all her personal stuff, but say a year and a half ago, she started the immigration process to get her now husband. Who back then she was trying to get the fiance visa. The embassy in Egypt claimed, when she went to go visit him that that November after they had started the process, they didn't hear anything from immigration for months. And that December or whatever, or just when she was about to come back, the embassy was like, "Oh, we tried to contact you back in July." He never got an email or letters. She didn't get anything from immigration. They had a flaky lawyer that wasn't really helping them that much. She never got anything, any nothing came to her about immigration. Then he went for his interview, and apparently the people at the embassy treated him like crap. Barely had an actual interview with him, and then left the case in limbo. Okay? I think that same year, she was having issues with her housing. Alright? I don't know I know other countries don't have what's called Section 8 or subsidized housing. But here in the States, we have something called Section 8, which is, it helps people that can't afford regular rent to have the rent be based off their income, and the government pays a small percentage of the rent, and you're responsible for paying the other. She had that, and by the time she came back from that trip, they told her she no longer qualified to get that subsidy, so now she would have to pay full rent. All of last year, last year or around that same time, the place that she lived got a new property manager, and the property manager has been basically abusing her power in whatever for over a year. My cousin doesn't necessarily know all her rights. I don't honestly know all the rights either, but they've been harassing her in in different ways, in this doing really unnecessary things for over a year. Then, my cousin is a federal worker. The whole world knew what happened in December. All right, or yeah, it started in December, right, or after Thanksgiving or something like that. The government shutdown in the United States. Okay, my cousin went with a lot of other federal workers, worked without pay for over a month, and she was again getting told by a manager that the rent was about to go up. She's not getting paid, so she's trying to figure out how she was. Um, and hey, Austin, I see you. You know, so she wasn't being paid for over a month. Her lease was about to be up. She wanted to try to move, but she had no money to move. They were telling her that her rent was about to go up, and that she was afraid of not being able to afford it. And then over the last month, I don't know everything that's going on with her right now because I really haven't spoken to her in about a month, because she's so overwhelmed with a lot of different things that she has going on, not just what I'm talking about. But so I guess in the beginning of March, the property manager offered her a different apartment on another floor, and they agreed to it. She agreed to it, and then this week, she wasn't given a new lease yet for the other apartment. She got a notice that as of April 1st, that the apartment she's currently in will be listed for occupancy. So like they're putting it up for rent. So now she's worried if they're gonna be homeless, because she doesn't know, they haven't given her a new lease agreement for the new apartment. They didn't tell her when she can move, and now her current apartment that she's been in for over 20 years, she's been there for for just over 20 years now. Same apartment, never had any issues. So the whole point of telling you all this was, you know, I forgot what the point was, or why I was using her as an example. Wish I could play it back so I can remember why I was bringing it up. But her, I think it was like, I know I don't have it as hard as other people. You know? So on top of her can't be with her husband, having the housing issues, and then she has other issues that, again, I'm not speaking on. But she said, this is a person that, like, oh, that's what it was. About trying to stay positive no matter what you have going on, or trying to, stay focused on your dreams or what you really want to do despite what you got going on. I hear you, Austin. But here's a person that like has multiple things going on in their life at once. Oh, that's what it was about. Giving, people wanting to give up. Despite what and as all the stuff she's got going on and having it compounded all at the same time. That's enough for someone to go, I can't deal with this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to shut down. I want it to go away. You know, the, you know, like JV was saying, you know, it's not worth it to give up or whatever. There's always some way to get help or whatever. But when you got so much going on at once like that, it's very hard to see that help or accept that help or to believe that things are going to get better. And hearing from someone else, oh, it's going to be okay, it's going to get better. When someone's that deep in problems, like one after the other, and they're just continually, happening, the last thing someone in a situation like that wants to hear that it's going to be okay. They don't want you to tell them that it's going to be okay. They want to see that it's okay. They want to see the miracle. They want to see something that gives them even an ounce of hope. Telling them something doesn't always manifest into belief. When you're in it, it's kind truly is. But and even when things are going okay for her, she's always afraid of her putting her guard down. You know, she's literally, and not just over the last couple of years. She's gone through hell and back so many times throughout her life. That she, even when things are going good, she finds reasons to be resentful or be fearful or whatever, which again is understandable. You know, she might, she comes off as a very negative and sometimes toxic person, but I also understand that a lot of that comes from, you know, all her life experiences. She's had some beautiful ones and some blessings, but she's also had a lot of contrast. She's had a lot of negative happen to her, like simultaneously. Like she'll have something good happen and then multiple bad things happen, you know? Yeah. And it doesn't help that both of us have spouses that when they're going through their depression, or they just they're not that they're not supportive, but because they're going through their own stuff, they're either not talking as much or being understanding of your situation. So like that's been the issue with me. It's like I want to tell you what's going on with me, but if like example, like again, I don't want to put my stuff out there. I don't want to get too deep into anything. I don't want people to you know unfairly judge the situation because I'm talking about because of how I'm talking about it. But like an example is, on top of me trying to take care of my debt, I'm trying to help my husband the best I can. But and I said this almost in the beginning, when Foodie came in about, um, I miscalculated my budget this week and was $100 had $100 less available to me to take care of everything that I was hoping to take care of. And the one thing that unfortunately the one that's gonna get it's gonna affect is my husband, because I was hoping to send him a little bit of money, like at least $50. If I could do more, I would do more. But if I can send, but I couldn't. I can't even send him that. And I let him know right off the back. I was like, my heart, I can't send. I can't. I have no money to send you this week. And he got up. He got upset and said some stupid stuff that again I'm not gonna get into because he is in the mindset that he's in. And I snapped back at it. I snapped back at him. And like, you need to be a little more understanding to my situation as well. But again, he's in a his situation is worse than my situation in the sense that we're apart. I might not have a whole lot of money, but I'm able to take care of what I have to take care of here. Over there's no work. He can't find work. He's been looking for work for 7 years. I got other friends in Morocco that tell me the same thing, that there's no work. They can't find work. Even in Egypt, my cousin's her husband, his mother, he volunteers and when he can, just to have something to show on a resume, but like he wants to desperately help my cousin and has no money to help her. His mother sent my cousin money to help with the immigration process. And my husband accumulated debt because when I wasn't able to send him money at all for months at a time, he was borrowing money from friends and whatever, and now they want their money back. And they keep threatening him that they're gonna take him to court. And So on top of not being here, not being able to work, you know, now he's got, his friends harassing him. And he's almost 40 years old and hasn't even had a chance to start his life. So again, I try to be very understanding, but at the same time, there are moments where I'm like, I don't know. But these are some of the reasons why I create the content that I do. I need to come up with the money. I need money for a lawyer. If I could come up with at least 600 to start with to give a down payment to the lawyer and then pay the rest while we're working on the petition, because the lawyer I had talked to in January, and hopefully she will quote me the same thing that she did before. She said that she would, for the first part of the immigration process, she would charge $1,500. And that's not including the fees for immigration. The immigration fees are different. Like, that would be a whole other thing. And I think the petition, which is what you start the immigration process with, I think that's roughly around $500 or $600. I haven't looked up the fees yet because I don't have any. I'm still trying to pay down my own debt. But if I could at least come up with, and the lawyer also said, once the petition has been approved, which takes at least 6 months, 6 months, I think it took about 6 to 8 months when I did it last time. When we start the second portion of the process, which is getting my income stuff together, him going for a medical exam and preparing for his interview, she said she would charge another $1,500, so that's $3,000 in total just for the lawyer. But the fact that she broke it down like $1,500 to do this part and $1,500 to do the other part, and we can set up a payment plan, and it should be paid by the time the process has been completed, and then from there, if I need more assistance, obviously it will be more money. But if I could at least come up with half of the 15, anywhere, I said 600, but if I can come up with close to half of the first portion of it in the first set of fees for immigration, then I can save, I can make, the payments to pay off the first part of the lawyer fees and save, so I'm ready to do another big chunk of payment for the second part of the process. And then on top of it, and forget about all that. I mean, I got my own debt to worry about too. And then my other expenses, other random expenses, not including house and bills and food. You know, like right now, I have to figure out how I'm gonna pay the excise tax on my car. I gotta I gotta do my registration for the car next month. I also have to do an inspection come May, and I don't know if it's gonna pass. I also think I need to replace one or two of my tires, and I don't have money to fix the tires. So if they go flat, then I once again will be without a vehicle. And to be honest with you, I want to actually fix. I want to start. I want to actually fix my car up a little bit more because it keeps playing off in my head that I've said multiple times that even if I got the green Jeep that I want, the Jeep Wrangler, that I would want to fix the Jeep that I have to pass it on to someone. So I'm like, I should be trying to fix that, you know, try to fix that so it's, you know, to the best, as much as possible. Hey, how are you? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. What time is it? Ooh. Alright, I'll go for another 15 minutes and then I'm gonna end this. Because I wanted to relax for the last couple hours of my shift and, try to figure out my expenses and stuff. But no, I don't need to figure out my expenses. I already know what my expenses are. But I want to figure out I want to really try to figure out a schedule for my videos and all my branding stuff and my content. Yeah, I'm about to end it in a few myself. I'm giving myself about 15 minutes, and then I'll end it. If I wasn't on my phone, I'd come say hi to your stream. But I'm telling y'all, whether I win the lottery, whether my brand grows to where money's coming in, I promise with everything in me, the more I grow, the more that I have, the more I'll be helping other people. They need to do that for a lot of people because I know we're not the only ones going through this stuff, It gets me so upset when I see people talk crap about the immigration system or like about immigrants in this country and whatever and like oh especially like those that are coming through Mexico and coming illegally and whatever. I was like, if you only knew the leaps and bounds you have to take, I think you would be a little more understanding to the hardships that some of these people are coming from, dealing with, why they're willing to get arrested and put in an American jail versus their own jails. And I don't know how it is in other countries. I don't know if other countries are the same way. with their immigration processes. My cousin actually sent me an article last month about four different cases out of the Moroccan embassy where there was absolutely no reason for them to reject or prolong the people's visa process, and that was an issue with us. Granted, they had some reasons I couldn't argue with, in their explanation on why they wanted more, because they didn't deny us. All right, they didn't deny us, but they took 3 years to get back to us to say we want more information. It took 3 years for anything to get back to me, for them to say, "Oh, we want more information. We want more information about your marriage. We don't believe it's a valid, a bona fide marriage. We want more. We want more proof of your relationship." But unfortunately, any significant paperwork as far as our relationship is concerned, we couldn't give it, because we don't live together. We're not in the same country. We're not even in the same room, let alone the same country. But the reasons that they gave on why they wanted more information, some of it I really couldn't argue with. Like, I agreed with it, or I understood it, and but at the same time that had happened, my finances changed. My husband fell into an extremely deep depression. I was dealing with my own stuff. And, from that point on, for a good 2 years, me and my husband we were very close to ending it, primarily to do with his depression and him lashing out and withdrawing from me. And, me getting to the point of, I understand why you feel the way you feel. I understand whatever, but I'm not gonna tolerate, being dragged down, because you're in a bad place. I'm here to support you, but if you're gonna lash out at me the way you're lashing out, I got to the point. I'm like, you wanna end it? You can end it, but you're gonna end it. Either you're gonna fight for this, or you're gonna end it. And we were very close a couple of times, and then we got quiet, and then we started talking again, and we, stayed fairly peaceful. And every now and again, he'll get in that place again, or get upset, because, again, he's in a more, he's in a worse situation than I am. Again, and I understand it, but I don't let him get too far with his, when he gets upset. I'm like, okay, you can be upset, but don't start your stuff with me. And unfortunately, they don't. They could care less. And what makes it worse is, in some respects, it's not even necessarily the United States. It's whoever's working at those embassies. You know, they might be U.S. citizens, but if the people that they have working at these embassies have any prejudices or not happy with their job, they're gonna take it on the people that come in, and they do. Because I've read from other countries, like even the Philippines, which apparently the Philippines is one of those countries where, you know, they 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 get into, they're one of those countries that, a lot of people do come to the United States from. But when I was trying to learn about what I had to do to get my husband here, I came across message boards about, the Philippines, and like some people talked about, oh, how, how the interviewer, treated them rudely, or treated them a certain, badly, or already, already gave them the impression that they weren't going to get approved, or didn't even look at their case and just denied them on the spot, so. But yeah, but with my case right now, with things stand now, like with me and my cousin and our, I've reached out a couple of times, but those talk shows, they get hundreds of letters a day, probably, and she probably gets thousands a day. Not saying that it's impossible, because anything is possible. But I have on occasion, I've reached out to Ellen for my own situations, for my cousin. As frustrating as it is, as discouraging as this life can be, I have to believe that it's all working out the way that it's meant to. I have to believe that there is a reason for what's going on, whether I know what it is or not. I know at the end of the day, I have to focus on me first, and this hold faith that God, that the universe is working on it, that my job is to continue to do what I'm doing by creating the content that I create, trying to continue to work on myself, And no matter how many times I fall or, slow down, that I get back up. And, me saying all this, I want to put a prayer out for everybody else. Because again, I know I got my stuff, but I also know that I am truly blessed for what I do have. I'm blessed to have you guys. I believe wholeheartedly in what is believed by others to be impossible. You notice how I said what other people believe to be impossible. That means I don't believe that it's impossible. I believe it's possible. I believe that I will win the lottery one day. I believe that I will get to a point where I can help people in significant ways. I believe that somehow, some way, me and my husband will be together. My cousin will be with her husband. I believe we can all reach our dreams. I believe there's enough out there for everybody. I believe just as we continue to grow that we have to remember our own struggle in order to not judge and help others. Our governments, no matter which government we live under, is not going to help us. We have to be the ones to open our doors to help others, open our arms, our wallets, our minds. I'm doodling while I'm talking. I gotta go to the bathroom. This is what I'm doodling. This was the song breakdown diagram that I drew, and then I started doodling over it. It's not anything specific, it's literally, I'm literally just doodling. Alright, I gotta go to the restroom, so I'll be right back. What's that one? No idea. Just on the goes up and down. Oh, I used to charge. Anyway, yeah, so, and this is another thing. So if I'm doing the streams at work, I think from now on, I'm gonna try to limit it to about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Mostly, partly because I am at my job. And it does take, focus and energy, even if I'm just sitting here talking. And, while I'm doing my job, I also want to just kind of relax and clear my mind in the last couple of hours of my job. So, as much as I need the watch hours, like when I do the Saturday night one, I stay on as long as my brother's out and as long as I can do it. But at work, because I am at work, and like I said, if I want to work on other projects, I don't always want to do it on the stream, because then then my focus is not specifically on the project. It's on doing the project and trying to interact. So that's another reason why, especially if I want to work on something here, that I'm gonna start, maybe, I think doing 2 or 3 at work. Like I said, maybe Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. This is not etched in stone yet, and it might not even be etched in stone. It's just an idea right now. But I want to, spread out what I'm doing. Even with the videos that I want to do, what I'm thinking is, because I haven't started it yet, is that, for videos that if I want to make specific days, a specific type of video, like poetry video, cooking video, motivational video, those types of videos are going to have specific days. So what day to tune into those. So but because I haven't started it yet, what I'm thinking is that I start creating a handful of those types. If I can get 5 poetry videos already recorded and ready to go, and to schedule them so they're already on, that way, I know I have, it'll give me a little, I want to bank, like I said, with the specific topic videos, or, specific video, like let's call them the weekly videos. So weekly poetry video, weekly, like I do with the fitness video, health and fitness video. Um, the health and fitness one, because that documents the whole week, I'd have to record throughout the week. But something like a poetry video or a motivational video, um, or even the cooking videos, that's something that I could try to make a handful of those videos in a week, and then edit them, put them together, and then have them scheduled to come out each week. And that's gonna give me leverage, to take my time on the next five, on the next one, you know. Um, and what I was starting to say is, like, as far as like my recording process is, when it comes to a regular like daily vlog, like a regular type of daily vlog type video, um, and for the health and fitness video, those specifically, I would use my phone primarily to edit and post. And then like the cooking video or poetry video, I can use my phone, not my phone, I can use my Canon and take my time to edit those on my computer. Like, categorize, make the category, so that might be what I start to do. Right. And then even with like I said, with like something with like the website, like I want to spend at least one day or 1 or 2 days a week where I give at least 2 to 4 hours on, if it's one day, give it 2 to 4 hours. If it's 2 days, give 2 to 4 hours. Even if those hours are spread out, just give time to understanding the website and and figuring out how to promote it, and and then the other logistical thing that I have to do is how to prioritize or schedule in promoting all my content. Where do I want to post my content? Like right now, the weekly health and fitness video, I post primarily to YouTube. I primarily post to YouTube and IGTV with that particular video, and I post them a day apart, at least a day apart. I try to do it a day apart from each other. So I'll post it to YouTube first, so my channel gets some traffic, and then I post it to, a day or so later, I'll post it to IGTV to promote it a second time, but to get traffic to my Instagram. I was putting it on Facebook, and I was trying to share it on Facebook too, and I still do, and on LinkedIn, but that was becoming like too tedious and too like, I have to wait, for like LinkedIn, I have to keep the app open. Or no, for IGTV, it uploads faster when I leave the app open. So I have to wait for it to do it, and sometimes it takes a while. Or, and for IGTV, I have to use my phone. So it would have to, I have to flip, and if I want it to be landscape, I have to re-edit it so sits land, so it, I have to turn the whole video around to portrait, because that's, this is portraits the way Instagram works. But in order to watch it landscape, I have to flip it to the flip it up, rotate it to the portrait so you can watch it. I have to upload it portrait so you can watch it landscape. So, and I don't have a lot of space on my phone either, like, because my phone won't, for whatever reason, I can't upload, or I can't get stuff off my phone onto my computer. Like, I'm gonna have to delete the original videos so I can continue to have space. And that's another thing. I need to buy a new phone. I want to buy a new phone. And I can't do it right now. If I'm trying to pay off debt and trying to save money for other things, and like I said, I couldn't even send my husband money this week. I mean, when I can't, and I try not to beat myself up about it, but it is frustrating. But then I spend, I spend way too much trying to figure out how I can, sacrifice money from one thing to pay for another thing, to, or to send him money, or to do whatever. I'm doodling. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end it. I want to relax. I'm doing better. I didn't put it in a video yet, and if I remember, if I do the stream Saturday night, I'll show you. I got his ashes in the other day, as well as I have this little ornament from a cat that I had that passed away about 8-9 years ago, just before I got the cats that I have now, the 3 boys that I have. I had a female cat, and when she passed away, I got this little ornament made from Shutterfly with her picture in the center. and I ordered the same thing for Gizmo, and I have both of those pictures next to each other on the wall facing my living room, facing my apartment door, because you know, and I posted this on my Facebook. I think that's the only place. It's the only place I posted it so far. I think I don't remember, but I think I did it on Instagram too. It was and I go it hasn't been the same. Um, it's very sad when I come home and I don't have that. You know, the ones that would greet me at the door are not there. But I put these two ornaments at the door. Facing the door, so in spirit, they're still there greeting me. You know, it gives me something to look at and appreciate when I walk in the door. It's still just way too quiet in my house now because Gizmo was very talkative. And he was a very animated cat in the sense that he showed his excitement when people came in the house or when he wanted attention and affection and yes, for sure. But yeah, I'm doing better, and as I said in the beginning of this, and I touch on it a little bit in the next health and fitness video, which is gonna get posted just after I finish this. I just have to fix the thumbnail, and then I'll publish it. I'll release it. Because that one's already, this week's video is already done. Um, you'll see where you'll see where I end it, and you heard most of what's going on with me in the stream. So, um, but yeah, so I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna work on the thumbnail for the video, and the video should be out in say about 10, anywhere between the next 5 to 15 minutes. Because I might not do much with the thumbnail. I just gotta see what I can get available and stuff. So no problem. Thank you for hanging out as well. It means just as much. With that, I am gonna end it. To anyone that comes in and you actually watch this far in, it means the world. You have no idea. And if you haven't already, please go check out some of my other content. There's a variety to choose from. And make sure you check the links in the description for all my socials, for aloveproductions.com. And if you would like to give a donation to support any of my endeavors, there's also a PayPal. So any way you can support, anyway, doesn't matter which way, everything is appreciated. But with that, I will end it. Just as I'm telling myself, I will tell you once again, keep your head up. If you gotta take a break, take a break. If you're going through the emotions, go through the motions. But don't forget to get back up and take another breath and another step. Have a good one, JV. Thanks for coming in, Foodie, and Nicole, and everyone else that came in. And with that, I will end it. As always, like, love, share, and inspire. Don't forget, love is everything. And I will see you in the next video, which will be in the next 15 minutes. Till then, much love. Peace.